Sorry about that. I had to cool down my phone. It gets too hot and the video cuts off. So, this is something that's in the Quran as a forgiveness blanket. And when you have this idea of, oh, I have this sort of free pass to sin, and then maybe you are forgiven for it, but it still shows up ultimately in your hisab. So, how did you behave when you had that credit card handed to you? It's like Brewster's Millions for haram. You have to do it all by midnight, and ultimately, I think the inklings of wisdom, which is the reward for those who attain this age and have purity and belief, that you have contemplated in a metaprogramming sense your own weaknesses to shaitan, the way that you are talked into temptation, the way that you are an addict, the way that you feel about haram, the way that you feel about yourself. And ultimately, haram is bad for your self-esteem in the long run. The short run feels great, otherwise you wouldn't do it. Of course. Just say no. Maybe isn't always the right easy answer. The real answer that involves wisdom is that you need to pursue the best strategies you can to feel good about yourself. And when I am a good Muslim and I am not even playing much video games, I'm just working from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. or 11 p.m. Otherwise, I would get a little video game time. And I'm doing a side gig, and I'm not looking twice at the girl walking the dog just now. And I am giving away so much money that I am endangering my family. But if I don't do it, these children will starve to death in 2 or 3 weeks. And they're already somewhat malnourished, so maybe how long they can last with zero food is shorter than maybe 2 months. Sometimes you hear this, but really, when your health is already bad, it can really fall over. And I just have to keep working, and I feel, and then I see the Islamophobia that I see, and then the people who are supporters of Palestine are becoming anti-Semites, which is sorely missing the point. And conflating anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism is sorely making things worse, and so on. And there's just so much hate and so much ignorance. And then the Sunni guys are like, I gotta do. I talked about this with the Dark Imam's theory of maybe God's kind of putting one over on us, and tweaking the difficulty level with all these sects. The wall of people that you have to talk over in order to actually do apologetics and try to push back on the tide of ignorance and do dawah is, it's an endless, seemingly endless torrent of jahil. And I really feel sometimes, even though I am eating and my car starts, I had to turn the key up and down, and the little pump kind of pushed the coagulated overnight cold fuel through finally into the injector, so my car would start, so I could take my kid to daycare 5-10 minutes late. And I'm grateful for all of this, but I do feel a little bit like I am kind of in hell. Not in hell, but like I'm suffering. And if I wasn't giving away money and I just didn't know these people, so I didn't have to feel bad about they'd be dead by now, so I wouldn't be able to hear from them. This is the crazy thing. And I went to sleep, and I heard a voice this is like a lot of people are like, oh, it's my birthday. Well, 40, it's kind of like, all right, get over yourself, buddy. You got to work, But you know what? Usually, people, it's like a happy day, and all I can think about is Hayat gonna die because I stopped giving her money, so I could just focus on giving half calories money to these other kids, because that's all. I'm pinching the budget now at this point, unless I get a breakthrough soon. And am I just gonna like keep giving away money to keep these people sort of semi alive until I run out of money, and then I gotta like beg my Islamophobic father who thinks Muslims should die because they have an evil religion and it says so in the Bible. I mean, unbelievable. I haven't quite cursed him. I did tell him that he was an unrepentant mortal sinner and he needs to go talk to his priest, because Catholic Church actually has more clarity on this topic, and that hurt his feelings. He said, "Okay, enough name calling." Like, well, I framed it because it is my religious duty to be nice to my father. I framed it as like, I'm doing this for you. Like, you're not Steve Witkoff here. We're not negotiating for these people. This is about your soul. And I just so so keeping, maybe I'll start eating. I'm gonna start eating less calories until I get some income business breakthrough of some kind. It's just like how few calories can I eat where it affects my work. But I am gonna start cutting down on my calories, and I maybe I don't know. I don't know if I can give up the smoked salmon for breakfast. It's like my favorite. It's like my thing. Um, Maybe stop buying cheese, and I could tell my wife and kid like no more meat. I don't know how well that's gonna go over. But maybe I should start spending less money on food for the household, so I can make room for this, keeping these orphans alive. And so, if somebody is beefing with you on the internet, if you are in an epistemic quandary, if you are unhappy with not getting things you want, and then you have this training of being a sort of like a Sufi vow of poverty benefactor to those who really have nothing, it really puts things in perspective. And ultimately, that's what wisdom is. It's not just about arriving at the correct interpretation of Scripture as it is categorized in the Quran, but also it is about laughing it off when you can't know and putting out a peaceful vibe instead of a divisive one. And Sunday morning is every day for all I care. And I'm not scared. I light my candles in a daze because I've found God. And maybe I'm to blame for all that I've heard. I'm not sure. And I'm so excited to meet you there. And I don't care. Well, I do care, actually. And I want you to know that I love you. And I'm not going to crack. I miss you.